Okay, here to visit my good friend Tommy Trey from Fat Car. And what has he got to show me? Bro, what's this? You say you got a special car for me?
Does it look special to you? This is a C200, Mercedes C200.
C200 lor, every brother.
It's special because Japan specs.
You don't bluff me away. And you're saying Japan spec, the number plate not like this one. You see not? Cycle and carriage. Some more this is the Malaysian spec. What? Look at the rim. It's the Malaysian spec car.
Bro, this one only costs 30 ringgit for you to replace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see how this car is Japan spec.
The first thing is power boot.
Power boot.
Not available in local spec C200.
Okay. What you call that? The button is here.
Yep.
But this one can fix one, no?
Okay. Very difficult to upgrade
Okay.
into original specs.
Okay. Okay. I believe you. Okay.
Yep.
Some more.
Fully keyless. Four-hander.
Oh, yeah, wait. Local spec C200 don't have keyless entry one, eh?
Yep.
Don't have keyless entry one, eh?
Now keyless entry and
Push start.
local spec only has push start.
Oh, okay. Hey, what is? Hey,
Are you seeing all these buttons here?
Yeah.
This is not available in local
Yeah.
specs. Very, very unique to this car only and to certain Japan specs. The first one is second lane keep assist. This one is steering control, parking sensor on and off.
Yeah.
This one is very special, head-up display.
Wow, head-up display also got.
Yep.
Yeah, well, okay. Later we try, And oh, look at this. This is all the Japan warning stickers here. I also spotted one here. Okay. So real one. This is legit Japan spec.
So all these features are there to make your driving a lot easier, a lot safer.
But outside it looks exactly like a Malaysian. Oh, okay. Wait. See, this one is the radar module.
Yep. The radar module is behind the emblem over here.
So what I would say is this lah. The person who bought this car is a special kind of OCD because normally Japan spec car, right, the number plate is the square one. Alright. So he actually took he bought a Japan spec car and he took the effort to convert this alright, which is the kind of money that not a lot of people will spend one. So that tells me that this owner, whoever that previously owned this car, is a special kind of OCD. Like you see that Lexus over there, that is how a car with a Japan Recon car will have a number plate of that kind of proportions one. Right? This is typically only Malaysia spec or UK spec car.
Let's go for a test drive and see what is your feedback.
Okay, lor. Okay, I'll be honest with you. The last time I test drive this 205 C200, I was not super impressed.
I mean, in terms of handling, you don't compare with the older 204, but it's still a great car.
Okay, come. Let's
go. You're buying into technologies and you're buying into safety. Okay,
come. Let's go. Okay, let's start the car first. So this is also unique because if I remember correctly, the Malaysia spec 205 had the piano black trim one, and Nyasing that trim always stick dust and always stick fingerprint one. This one is much better. Okay, and notice also that this is fabric. Half fabric, half leather.
Yep, the Japanese people love this kind of seats because the temperature is more consistent. If you have a car with full leather, I'm sure you know that when you get in a car under the hot sun, it's so hot.
Oh my God, look at that. What's this? Okay, the heater seat. Don't play the fool with heater seat. Don't play with heater seat. And look at that. That's the head-up display right there. Hey, the ride feels a bit more comfortable than I remember. Remember last time when I drove the C-Class, C-Class, it feels a bit unsalted one. It's like after 2 corners, right, I was thinking, shit, I prefer the 3 Series.
The 3 Series definitely has better driving dynamics. Yeah. But if you're the one that appreciate more of the interior quality, the elegance of the interior, then the C-Class is for you.
Yeah, C-Class, honestly, right, this car how many years old? 10 years old, right? The car still look and feel premium.
And as the passengers of this car, we appreciate to be inside the C-Class more than the 3 Series. Because the 3 Series is always the design with the drivers in mind.
The engine quite punchy.
Yep. Is the newer 2-liter engine from Mercedes. Pairs with the 7-speed gearbox. I mean, in terms of performance, you cannot go wrong. Do you hear the beeping sound? That was the blind spot assist.
Yeah, that's right.
We wouldn't be able to get this in the local C200.
Yeah, don't know. Local C200 very kosong one.
So a lot of my friends would tell me, all those are extra gadgets I don't need now. Once you have it, you cannot live without it.
And someone just now when I reversed the car, it's got camera.
Yep, it has reverse camera. Oh, the local one don't have.
Don't have. Yeah. Local one very bare one.
So
but the power delivery feels like this car has been tuned before. It's the engine feels punchier and smoother than what I remember when I drive the local spec C200.
I think it could be the condition of the car as well.
Hey, the C200 I drove last time was new one.
New one?
It was a new car.
Okay.
Was the Mercedes Malaysia demo car.
Okay, let's use the smart tag lane.
Okay.
How do you feel, Con? This is a 10 years old car. If I do not tell it that this is a 10 years old
Okay,
car,
it feels nicer. It feels newer than a 10-year-old car lah.
Some questions for you.
Ask.
Can I ask some questions?
Ask.
Yeah. Would you buy a 10 years old Mercedes at, let's say, 80,000 ringgit, this car?
Okay. This is 80,000 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Comparing with the new C segment in the market?
New C segment in the market, right? To achieve this kind of driving performance, you're looking at, I would say, at least a Honda Civic. Honda Civic is double the price.
Yes. Or the Mazda 3?
Mazda 3.
Which
Mazda
is
3
more than double the price.
right?
Yeah.
And a same age F30 is also around this price, right?
F30 is cheaper.
F30 cheaper.
F30 for the same year is about, now in the market is about 60,000. Yeah.
But okay lah. To be fair, I think F30 drives better, but this one you sit inside really feels more atas than F30. F30 the build quality especially the pre-facelift one, because 80k is still pre-facelift F30, right?
Yeah.
It's
The
no,
facelift is about 90,000.
It's no better than a Japanese car, honestly.
Yeah,
right?
agreeable on that. I mean, they make the design simple.
It's not just the design.
Simple and sporty.
It's not just the design. It's the quality when you touch the plastics. They are saying F30 really is like, when you buy it at 200k a bit susah. I mean, if like buying at 70k, 80k, okay, can shut up, right? But coming back to this guy, right? Okay, at 80k, this feels like 80k well spent
Okay.
right?
So, if you're going to buy this car, what is your main concern? I mean, there are a lot of, I think, buyers out there.
Yeah.
Their mindset is, hey, this is a 10 years old Mercedes. Would it still last? Is there still spare parts?
You know, the day we were just talking about this, right, on our Monday live show. And we have to bear in mind one thing, right? You see, these cars are built to sell at the 200 plus thousand ringgit price point, right? You spend the same amount of money on an 80,000 ringgit, on a brand new 80,000 ringgit car, right? Those cars are made of parts that are engineered to 80,000 ringgit with your price point, right? So I would say, right, it depends. It depends in terms of the maintenance from the previous owner, right? So if the previous owner got jaga bye-bye, right, what you would probably get is, yes, the price of individual parts may be more expensive, but you get better performance and you get better durability. That's what I would expect lah. So to answer your question, right, the first thing I would do is I'll check the service record for this car. I'll check whether that I would send this car for a workshop inspection, right, to check the undercarriage, see whether got any signs of flood, any signs of accident, right, see any leaking oil or not. And if all those things check out, right, then chances are it's safe to buy.
If you're in the market to buy a car for yourself, would you buy a new Honda Civic, a 10 years old C-Class like this?
For me, I cannot buy new car anymore. I look at the price of new car and I look at how much I would lose in depreciation, right? I cannot justify. Because you see, the thing is that the problem is when you buy, I mean, I'm not saying that buying new car is bad, but when you buy a new car, right, you are buying the car at the steepest point of the depreciation curve.
Wow, the radar is working,
Oh, radar working.
Yeah, the car suddenly brake in front.
Whereas this one, you are buying the point where the depreciation curve, right, is starting to taper out already.
I think that makes a lot of financial sense.
Yeah,
Get a 10 years old C-Class. I mean, the next questions that a lot of my customer has is, hey, how about the maintenance? A 10 years old Mercedes require more maintenance than a brand new Honda Civic. Well, logically, yes, but my comeback is, I believe the interest that you're going to pay for new Civic for your bank loans, you can use that extra money to maintain this car.
Correct.
So at the end of the day, this car will depreciate a lot lesser. The brand new C segment is going to depreciate a lot more.
Of course.
So a lot of consumers out there, they don't really take this into considerations because new car, less maintenance, but the biggest problem is depreciations.
Yeah, for me, it's and the thing is that, right, cars like Mercedes, BMW, and we talk about the common models like a C-Class, 3 Series, and all this, right? There are a lot of specialists out there that will be able to maintain your cars at very reasonable cost. Very reasonable cost. And it's not difficult to find honest ones because you let's say that you go and survey a few workshops, right? You just go and see their Google review and you know already whether this workshop is trustworthy or not.
Yeah, I mean, from my experience in owning multiple units of the BMWs and Mercedes, there are certain parts in the Mercedes last a lot longer than the Japanese car. For example, the absorbers. The absorbers in this car, I believe in this unit is still original from the factory.
You sure?
I believe so.
This one is, does it have like
The M-matic?
or any you know the what you call it, adjustable suspension? I know.
This model do not have it. But the C200 AMG from Japan, most likely it has the M-matic.
Oh,
that is something that you have to be aware.
I don't dare to touch car with M-matic.
You can, but the one, if the M-matic spoil already, you have the option to replace it new, which is very costly.
Yeah.
Or you can change it to coilover, which would cost you a lot lower.
Yeah, but the thing is that you change to, I mean, I'm mixed about that. You change to coilover, you don't get the full performance of the car.
Correct.
So I would say, I would go with a car that came out from the factory with passive suspension. You can't beat that.
Bro, life is fair.
Yeah.
You want to have fun, you need to pay, right? So this car, I think most C classes in Malaysia doesn't come with the air-matic suspension. The one that I know that comes with air-matic suspension is the C350E W205. And certain Japan import models, usually they are the AMG models. So it's very easy to spot whether it's air-matic or not air-matic. There's a button over here to adjust your right.
Oh, okay, this one.
Yeah. So there's a button over here.
But okay lah, I mean, this car for how much is this selling for? 80k.
I think 80 plus or 80k. I think we have just adjusted the pricing down.
80 is I think for you know, for this environment is not bad. I think I can see some wear and tear that needs to be patched up, but I think it's great.
I think a very, very simple way to calculate the cost of ownership between the new C segment and buying this car. This car today costs you 80,000. In the next 5 years, how much do you think you can sell this car for? Let's say you lose half the amount.
Well, the question then I'll ask you is, a 5-year older C-Class is how much right now?
5 years older C-Class, which year? 2000.
It'll be 204.
204 already. So it's not a fair comparison because 204 already.
Right? Yeah. Older model.
Yep. So in 5 years, let's say this car loses half the value.
But I think knowing Mercedes, right, the value will hold one.
It holds. I think Mercedes holds the value better than any other continental brands out there.
Mercedes, the value retention.
There's a lot of Chinamen buy,
Mercedes, the value retention is so much better compared to BMW.
Yeah.
Right.
So comparing with, let's say, paying 80,000 for this car versus 160 or 180,000 for a new C segment,
I cannot compare. I would buy
the new car is going to depreciate more than this car in the next 5 to 7 years.
Oh, correct, for sure.
More than this car itself.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Before even further depreciation.
You will lose more in depreciation.
Yeah.
So
I think my experience with new car is, although it comes with warranty, but when things goes wrong with the car, the warranty process, the claims is very messy, very tedious. And a lot of times you need to leave your car in the workshop or service center for weeks without replacement car.
Not necessarily true for all brands, but some brands like that.
Yeah,
yes.
some brands.
Yeah.
Correct. I mean, I think it depends on what is broken in the car.
Yeah.
A lot of times they need to order spare parts, and I think they need to go through the warranty claim process. It takes time. So my experience is, my first car, a Proton. So I had some issue with the clutch. It was a manual. And the technician told me, you need to leave your car over here for 3 weeks just to change a clutch bearing.
Oh, wow.
Then I said, I cannot live without a car for 3 weeks. Can I send to my regular workshop? It's at your own risk because we will void the warranty if we find out. This is the issue with new car and the warranty.
Okay.
That was my experience. For a second-hand car, you are free to go to any workshop that you think is suitable to fix your car.
That you trust, right?
That you trust.
That you have that trust.
Yes. And for a car at this age, spare parts are very easy, extremely easy.
Because
extremely easy. Because the owner in the more developed countries, let's say Japan and UK, they're really scrapping this car.
you know the interesting thing is this, okay, cars like the C-Class, E-Class, 3 Series and all that, right? They are all, even if you're talking about used one, right? All of them, they belong to a segment of society with purchasing power. They got a purchasing power. So what this means is that these guys, right? These are not the kind of guys who would be skimming on spare part lah. They are not the type that they are willing to spend a bit on spare parts. So what this means is that, right, for the spare part company, it is profitable for them to continue making quality parts for these cars, right? So as a result, the supply, the long-term supply of spare parts for these cars are actually more assured.
Yes, I think you have a point over there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And being a car from German, even the OEM makers have to adhere to their QC process, to their recipe. And I myself, I use a lot of OEM spare parts for my, I'm actually driving a 13 years old C-Class, and I love it. It doesn't give me much major issue except for wear and tear. Even the wear and tear parts, I have plenty of options. Even OEM also, I have 2 or 3 brands that I can pick from. Yeah, I can pick from made in Germany, some of it made in China, you have to be careful a bit. And I can pick from original. Even though it is original spare parts, Mercedes doesn't make it. Like, for example, the suspension parts, Mercedes doesn't make the suspension. A company like Sachs, S-A-C-H-S, how do I
Sachs.
Sachs. Just make sure it's correct. Made suspensions for the Mercedes. So when you buy the OEM parts, you can buy directly from Sachs, which is a lot cheaper than the original. And frankly speaking, the suspension for this car, I think the absorber, one piece will cost you back about 500 ringgit. Does it sound reasonable to you?
Okay, what?
Okay,
okay.
And one piece of this can last you for the next 8 to 10 years. True. So after all these conversations, all these things, what are the advice that you have for the viewers when they're into the market of purchasing a car? Do I risk it by going for a better second car, or do I play safe, pay more for a brand new car?
At the end of the day, I believe it really boils down to the appetite of the owner. There's no right or wrong either way. But the important thing is to know what you want, know what you're getting into. So when you buy a new car, what you get is, you want to buy a new car, very simple. Go into the showroom, just say, I want this spec, this color, wait for delivery, done. New car, right, is a very straightforward process. Whereas when you talk about used car, there's that you get a cheaper car. You get a car that's much cheaper than it would have been brand new. You save on depreciation, but you got to do your homework beforehand. Meaning what? Meaning this C200 versus that C200 versus the other C200, the other C200, the other C200. Each one of it, you have to review them as separate cars. You have to see the car yourself individually, inspect the car, view the car, and decide, okay, this is the car that I want. That's number one. Right. Number two, you also have to go and spend time to get the car inspected, to see whether, hey, this car really, what are the things that you need to prepare in terms of the maintenance, in terms of the wear and tear. Because no two ways about it. Used car is used car, there's wear and tear one. You have to replace the wear and tear parts, right? So you have to be prepared. What are the wear and tear parts you want to replace before you buy the car? So if you're looking for me, I will buy used car. Because why? I know what are the things to expect, and I do enjoy the fun part of it lah. But I do appreciate there are some people, they just want, they don't have the mental capacity to deal with the headache. They buy new car, or they got old number plate they want to keep. No choice.
Correct. So Con, you are driving a very old BMW, right?
Yeah.
The E39.
Yeah.
If I tell you this, that the gearbox in the CVT gearbox in the Proton Saga, old one, used one, costs more than the gearbox for your BMW. Would it be a surprise to you? Is it a surprise?
For me, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. I used to drive a Waja before. So I know that how sometimes Proton parts, right, especially those old Protons that are no longer in production one. I'm not talking about the current gen Geely products, I'm talking about the old ones that are no longer in production, the Waja, the Vira, Saga. Sometimes some of these parts, right, can be more expensive and harder to source than we expect.
Correct. That's because I think Proton, they make cars for the local market, whereby BMW, they make the car for global market.
Yeah.
So when we talk about economy of scale, I think you have the answers.
Yeah.
So the mechanic can source spare parts for your car easily.
Yeah.
There's so many scrap cars from Japan,
Yeah.
and the UK.
Yeah.
There's so many of it. And because there's so many parts coming to our show, the price is very reasonable.
Yeah. You have a very, very good selection of parts.
Like the engine replacement for your car. Let's say you burst your engine today. The engine replacement for your car is about 2,000 ringgit.
A bit more than that.
A bit more than that. So including labor is about 3,000.
But I can tell you this, I've surveyed also for, like, for example, a BMW M54 6-cylinder engine versus a Mitsubishi 4B11 engine for a Proton Inspira. The price is not much different.
So that's why I think today's conversation is all about spreading awareness on how do we make decision in buying a car, especially buying a used car. I think if you are the type that can do homework on your own, that's great.
How do I
scan? Yeah. So if you want to buy a used car but you do not know where to start from, call Con. Have you ever bought any new car before?
New car, I bought one time.
Yeah.
Then I got burned by the resale value. So after that,
What car was that?
Persona.
I only owned one new car before. My first car, Proton Saga, is Wara. That time it was the legend, 1.5 manual. 1.5 manual, you know, the car.
Was it the taxi spec one?
Taxi spec. Mine was white color. So I got it for 2 years, and then after that, my company decided to give me a company car. I sold the car at a 20,000 ringgit loss. I remember that. 2 years old, 20,000 ringgit loss. I think I bought it that time was about 38 or 40,000. That was a big dip. From there onwards, I only look at second-hand car. Because for the same amount of money that I'm going to spend for a new car, I can get a lot more cars than the new car.
Yeah, of course. The whole point of buying used car is because it gives an opportunity it gives people an opportunity to buy into cars that when new, they were either unwilling to spend that amount or they couldn't afford to spend that amount.
Like today, this car is 80,000.
Yeah.
What new cars can you buy with 80,000?
No, let's put it another way. 80,000 ringgit, right? Yeah. Well, firstly, what can you buy at 80,000? Proton S70, Honda City, Honda Toyota Vios, right? Put it the other way. Brand new, this thing was 240,000, 250,000, $250,000, right?
Yep.
Now it's 1/3 the price, right? 80,000. So it's like 160,000 cheaper than brand new. Then it was new. I don't think the car is so problematic that it will cost you 160,000 of maintenance in a short period of time.
I think just to give you some facts, to overhaul this engine or to replace this engine with a used one, I think it costs less than 10,000.
Okay,
it's the same with the gearbox. So if these two major parts only cost you like 20,000 to fix once in your ownership, that's only 20,000.
That's okay, what?
That's a maximum. That's a maximum that you need to spend on the engine gearbox, whereby you can get cheaper with the right mechanic.
Yep. Okay, so thanks for the chat, Tommy. So here's the lesson for today. Whether you are buying new car or buying used car, just be aware of what you're getting into. All right, new car, used car, each has pros and cons. So know what you want. All right, know that whether you buy new or used, there are different expectations. So no right or wrong in either way, but for me, my money, I will go used car.
I think if you're the dollar and cents guys, you can create a spreadsheet and tabulate your total cost of ownership for the next 5 years between a used car like this versus a new car that you are looking at in the C segment.
Yeah, I mean,
you can get the answers easily because the depreciation cost of the new car can easily supersede the cost of ownership and the maintenance of this car.
Yeah,
we can start with the loan interest because new car loan interest, I mean, you are loaning higher amount.
But here's the a lot of people latch on to the fact that new car, right, you pay lower interest rate.
Yes, say lower than second car, but the loan amount is higher.
Yes.
So a 90% of 170,000 versus a 90% of 80,000, you are loaning a lot more. So in terms of dollar and cents that you're paying back to the bank in terms of interest is a lot higher than this car.
Yeah, that's true. That's
a lot
true.
higher than this car. That's number one. Number two, because a new car, the value is higher, your insurance is more expensive.
Correct.
So if you can tabulate these three items, depreciation cost, higher interest rate, I think, how do I say that? Not higher interest rate, but total interest that you need to pay to the bank is higher. The third is the higher insurance cost every year.
Then the depreciation.
Yeah. So these few items you put in the Excel sheet, you get the answers. That's why Warren Buffett is driving a second-hand car.
Yep. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. Let's
Bye-bye.
go and see what else you have here.